Negombo Lagoon is Asian best lagoon for the protection. We have a lot of fish there. Near the port, big fish, small fish, crab, prawns, cuttlefish, many. This area is 30,000 fishermen. But that area, they proposed the project. That's why we want to stop the project. We can't go near the Port City project. We can't fishing there. Not allowed. That is also a big problem now. That project is destroy our life and country economy also.
Generations by generations, they have used this area for fishing. Now suddenly they lost the income for several years, and they were not properly compensated. And the environmental damage, social damage, livelihood damage. So that's why people never had any opportunity to say yes or no to this one. They spent 103 million US dollars for the tower built by China Harbour Corporation. Now the telecommunication companies are using satellites, so therefore there's no use. We are still paying back this money to China, but unfortunately there's no benefit for the local communities or the local economy.
We want to shed a flashlight on the situation in Sri Lanka because it's a highly debated case. How do these infrastructure projects affect the local lives of the people, the environment, the climate change?
This meeting is not about demonizing China. I mean, all of us have been looking at multilateral development banks which have emerged from the Western Bretton Woods institutions. We've faced ADB, the World Bank, and bad infrastructure there. The same problems that we've seen in multilateral development banks led by the West, we see those same problems with banks being financed by China as well.
The Chinese investments in Sri Lanka are different from other investments, which means there's not only the hard infrastructure coming in, but also it's changing the whole social and cultural fabric in this country. And we can even say that Sri Lanka's state sovereignty is endangered by what happened with this comprehensive Chinese influence in this country.
China is one of the largest financier in Bangladesh, and it has several big infrastructure projects, which actually do three major impacts on Bangladesh economy. One is the large number of displacement. Second one is it's all based on fossil fuels, which is destructing the environment of Bangladesh. And third is the heavy loan burden of the country. Bangladesh will have to pay back the loan with high interest rates.
China investment in Indonesia increased massively in last 10 years. And sadly, many in the form of fossil fuels, like building coal power plants. China investment need to improve their policies dealing with the social issues, environmental issues.
The Chinese are the biggest implementer, let's say, of hydropower in Asia. So they are investing a lot around Asia, right? And then that is impacting the whole policy, whole advocacy around hydropower, even in India. It's a lot of coercion for us by the government of India, right? Because we have been, of course, protesting for the past 13 years and counting. There's been like cases of shooting. There's been cases of, big human rights violation. There is intelligence surveillance on the activists, despite not having any EIA, environmental impact assessment clearance of these projects, they are still getting a nod from the government.
One of the key aspects of Chinese investment is, it's we believe it doesn't come with a lot of transparency. So that's one major demand. Like, for example, there is no specific list of projects that China puts out pertaining to their investments. So one key demand is more transparency, and therefore through that demand more accountability in their investments in the national countries. The second part would be, the investment should be more responsible, and then in countries where it has to come attached with conditionalities, where it safeguards both human rights and environmental integrity, and not just develop projects for the sake of infrastructure alone.
When we conceived of RIMA, that was what we were thinking, that there would be expertise from China watchers, both in the West and from within China and around China, that would bring in their understanding and their strategies to strengthen communities on the ground in Asia and beyond, who are grappling with China infrastructural projects affecting their lives and livelihood and environment.
The work on China definitely needs to be understood better, and I think a better dialogue can be had if China is willing to be a long-term development partner in Asia.
Chinese, the governments, they don't reply to you. It's not like the Westerns. There are a lot of, very good languages, and how we use those good languages in our way. Be sure your research you have the first-hand data, have this evidence, so they know that you're just don't get from some news or whatever, and do provide some constructive solutions. Just don't just end like we against this project.
I especially learned about how the Chinese institutions work and how to connect to the Chinese authorities and the BRI related institutions. That is my takeaway from here.
It is the good platform for me in my organization, and so proud of to RIMA.
I think this RIMA was really about solidarity.
I saw that very often even senior activists were doing detailed note-taking during the conference, which means that there were a lot of inputs that were new or very interesting to people who were engaged over the years.
The RIMA conference is very distinct in all the other conferences because we deep dived into China.
There's an enormous amount of knowledge we gathered here. Coming from various groups, I think sharing that information is very, very important.
It's a very interesting actually, and I'm rather new to this, the whole exploration of this whole field and involvement with China, and this is like the right place actually, for me to learn so much.
It gives you power to do something because you know that you are not alone.